Hey everybody, Julie here from Mostly Caffeinated. Sorry if I'm a little cut off, but I am prepping my dinner, and I thought that why not? I could record the video that I wanted to record today while I was cooking dinner, so I'm going to. I'm making a roast. I'm peeling some potatoes. A little life hack: I take the cover from my roast, and that's what I peel my stuff into, and then I just dump it out when I'm done, so I don't have to turn back and forth from the sink all the time. And you can rinse it out, and then it's a little bit wet, but that doesn't matter because you got to put a little water in your roast anyway. So anyway, you'll see me peeling potatoes and carrots and beets and cutting up peppers and things like that while I'm talking. What I wanted to talk to you about today was the concept of settling. I think about this a lot, but I really think about it around Valentine's Day. Now I know it's a day or two after Valentine's Day when you're watching this, but I tend to think about settling a lot. Now, this is kind of, personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, whatever. It's not the gospel truth, and it might not be what is true for your family. But this is how I feel about it. I feel like a lot of times when people run into problems, it's because they were trying to settle. And I don't think settling is really the best way to go about things. Now, I think about it at Valentine's Day a lot because I think about, a person's spouse. I think about how you shouldn't settle when it comes to choosing somebody to spend the rest of your life with. The fact that they're there and they're breathing is not good enough. Don't get desperate. I know I say this, as an old married fart, so if you're a younger person watching, oh, Julie doesn't understand me. I was you once, okay? I was young and single once. And let me tell you, it's not worth having to spend the rest of your life unhappy in order to be less single right now. It's not worth it. Wait for the right person. Not just an acceptable person, this person's fine. Fine is not good enough. This is like a mantra of my life. It's just fine is not acceptable. So picking a spouse, just fine, it's not good enough. You have to look at this person every single day for the rest of your life and want to spend time with them. You have to want to raise a family with this person. You have to want to never be able to get out of this person's personal space for the rest of your life. Good enough is not good enough. You wait for a person you actively enjoy being with. They will come eventually. You just gotta wait. It's okay. Be patient. Don't settle. Okay. Other things where good enough is not good enough. Your family life. If you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and you're sleeping 5 hours a night, and you're eating fast food 4 days a week, and you find yourself saying, well, it's good enough. It's not good enough. It doesn't have to be that way. Don't settle for that myth of it's good enough. Is that really what you want for yourself and your family? It's good enough? I don't think so. I don't think that's really what you want. So if you're crazy busy all the time, pare down your schedule. If you'd like to, eat more food at home, make it happen. My husband and I had a goal this year, I think I've mentioned this in previous videos, that we only want to have anything planned one day of each weekend. So one of the 2 days. The other day is blocked off as family time. Because being gone every day all weekend and being exhausted and then starting the rat race again on Monday was fine, but fine is not good enough. Fine is not good enough for my family. Okay, we feel this way in our family about education. I know a lot of people, focus on finding a good school for their children But for a lot of people, this school is fine. That's where I went and it was fine. That's not good enough. We're very religious people, so we send our children to parochial schools. Well, let's be real. Our kids aren't even in school yet, but we already know that this is going to happen. My husband teaches at a parochial school. We think parochial schools are very valuable for a number of reasons, and we simply refuse to settle. Sure, it would be free to send our children to the local public school, and it would probably be fine. Fine is not good enough. Fine is not what I want for my children. I will not settle for fine there. Another thing that might be fine. Things like your home, the interior of your home, the setup of your house, or the stuff in your house. You might be tempted to think, yes, my house is cluttered, but it's fine. Is it? Is fine all you want for your family? I bet it isn't. Maybe you need to declutter. Maybe you need to get rid of a bunch of stuff and turn your house from fine into wonderful and relaxing in a place that you want to be. Maybe that's what it's going to take. I've been reading a lot on the topic of hygge lately. I'm not quite ready to make a video about it yet. But essentially it's this idea that your house should be a warm and comfortable place and relaxing and slow-paced and filled with reading and talking and game playing and slow-paced activities. I didn't know this was a thing, but that's how I feel. And that's all I will accept. If it's getting too crazy, too messy, too electronic, that's not good enough. It's fine is not happening around here. And make that whatever it is for you. If your version of good, if what you want is more activity, then make that happen. If what you want is a pet, fine. Don't settle. Get one. If you want to downsize, if you want to live in a tiny house because you're not happy where you are, then do it. Okay? Fine is not good enough for your family. And you could even take this to like a real small scale. Now this sounds trite, but there's several videos on my channel about things like downsizing your wardrobe or capsule wardrobes. And I feel like if you read all of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, or if you follow, any of Marie Kondo's lines of thinking, that this is part of her philosophy as well. You don't keep things, clothes, stuff, possessions, books, whatever, because they're fine. It's not enough. It's not valuing yourself and your time and your property enough to say, I'll keep this item because it's fine. Are you hearing yourself? Like, I don't really wear it because I don't like it, but it's fine, so I'll keep it. I guarantee you have enough things that you don't need to keep that. This book was fine. You're really going to read that again? Of all the books that there are in the world, you're going to read that one that was fine? I don't think so. And trust me, I love books. I have a hard time getting rid of books. But that's what I say to myself. Was this mind-blowing? Was this life-changing? Do I actively love it and want it in my home? Or was it just fine? I'm reminded as I'm standing here peeling vegetables and cutting up things to put in my roast of a time when I thought my kitchen knives were fine. I got them as a wedding gift. They cut things, sort of, so it was fine. It wasn't fine. Okay, they weren't sharp enough. Did a terrible job. I cut myself a number of times. I had to try really hard at cutting things like tomatoes. That's not fine. It's not good enough. It's a big waste of my time and a waste of my space to have things like that in my home that are just like barely serviceable, barely functioning, not doing what I want. Excuse me 1 second. quick break. There's all my vegetables chopped up at the bottom of my roaster. Here's all my scraps that I'm going to go throw away. Rinse out the top. And run business. To wrap this up, things being fine is not good enough. This is your family and your home and your life. It is everything that is part of your existence on this planet, with the exception of your faith. Every other component falls into this category. Don't settle for things that are just fine. Okay. Make it the best it can possibly be. Make your schedule as ideal as you can. Limit your possessions to only things you love. Limit even the things that enter your mental space, your technology, your social media, your friends, your things you worry about, things you wonder about other people thinking about you. If it doesn't serve you, then get rid of it. If it's not the best it possibly could be, don't let it sit there. Okay? Do not settle for whoever you're dating because they're fine, okay? Because they're breathing, they have the majority of their limbs, and they seem to put up with you. That's not good enough. Don't waste your whole life struggling mentally and emotionally because you're surrounded by things that are fine, people that are fine. There is so much more. Okay? If you are a person of faith, God doesn't expect you to be settling for all these things. It's not modesty and humility to take whatever comes along and just accept it the way it is. To take your circumstances is one thing. The Lord puts you in a time and a place. He gives you your spouse and your children and everything you have, and contentment is wonderful. I'm not talking about not being content. I'm simply talking about ensuring that during your contentment, you've taken full advantage of what you can do so that it's not just fine. You really love it. Okay? Especially when it comes to things like decluttering. Fine is not a reason to have something. We are blessed so abundantly. We don't need to hang on to things that are just fine. We have so many people and experiences and material possessions in our lifetime that we don't have any need for things that are just fine. We may as well have joy in the small things, in the things we can choose. We can't choose the weather. We can't necessarily choose our job. We can't necessarily choose our geographical location. We can't choose our physical abilities or lack thereof. But we can choose small things. You can choose your clothes. You can choose your knives. You can choose a spouse. You can choose how to spend your Saturday. So do so. Choose wisely. Choose joyfully. Choose things that serve you. Don't settle for things that are just fine. You are worth more than that. I don't know if that was a rant or if that was actually helpful, but that's what I wanted to say about settling. See you guys later. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. Visit my other social media. Visit the blog if you want anything in written format. But I hope you have a good rest of your week. Make conscious choices that are good for you.